WJFK. Big O and Dukes.
106.7 WJFK, Big O and Duke Show. We're back, and we have a very special guest on the line.
Yeah, one of the best in the business right now. He's got a title match coming up at Extreme Rules. I'm getting the pay-per-view this Sunday. It's live from New Orleans. We're talking with former WWE champion and soon-to-be future WWE champion, Jeff Hardy, on the show. Jeff, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
Great to talk to you. First of all, we got the chance to meet you live in studio a few months back and talked a little bit about your array of moves. And I'm just curious, I've been watching you on SmackDown and watching you on Raw and watching you in all the different shows, Superstars, and when you've got an arsenal like you have as far as high-impact maneuvers where you're coming off the top rope and you're hitting your back every single time you wrestle, do you think there's ever going to be a point in your career where you have to modify your in-ring technicians? Because I got to be honest, it's going to take a tremendous wear and tear on you.
Yeah, it already has to, and I think I have modified, because if you see that, if you watch the current Jeff Hardy and then compare him to the 21, 22-year-old Jeff Hardy, you can obviously see that I don't do what I used to do, but I mean I still hold my own. I'm so known for being a risk taker and high flyer and whatnot, and I've always been one of the bigger high flyers too. So if you do compare myself to back then, you'll see that I have, trimmed down a lot of my array of, moves or whatever. But, yeah, naturally, man, it's rough, man. But I've been lucky. I've never broke a bone in wrestling. And I honestly, I don't think there's no reason to rhyme for that. I think it's got a lot to do with luck, first and foremost, because I truly believe in luck. And I broke my bone riding a motorcycle, man, years ago. So luckily, I've just had little, injuries in wrestling, but I got bone chips in my elbows, and my knees are pretty weak, and my ankles are pretty weak, and my back and my neck. I got slipped disc in both my neck and my back, but overall, I feel pretty good, man. So I really can't complain.
Well, that's good. Jeff, wanted to ask you, there's so many different aspects to your business, and the showmanship that you put on when you get on TV and you're there live is just amazing. One of the hardest things for me to watch, just in general, and I can't imagine doing this because, Judge Chad and I both have brothers here, is what you went through with your younger brother, Matt. And, we get what's going on there, and it's a type of entertainment, but at times it felt like it got real.
Yeah, well, and that's the way it's supposed to be. But, in real life, brothers do fight, and, we actually feuded years ago. And I think just overall, I mean, that stuff's already over now. And, I think our match at, WrestleMania was decent. I think we did some really creative stuff with, naturally we didn't have a huge amount of time to go out there and do what we'd love to do. But overall, I think our feuds have been good. But the main thing surrounding our feuds is that I don't think people really care to see us fight. I think they would much rather see us team or do our, solo things. I think Matt, overall, I mean, people are going to love him whether he's bad or good. And I think that's what was really hard between our feud because, so there were still people out there that were Matt Hardy fans, and there are going to always be Matt Hardy fans. So, yeah, it's kind of tough, but I'm glad that stuff's over, and, we've both moved on.
Cool. One of the things you do, Jeff, and I think you're out ahead of the curve of a lot of wrestlers and a lot of people even in your own business, is you do a lot of exclusive content outside of the WWE, where you guys do your own stuff on the internet and you do your own stuff video-wise and shows and interviews and stuff like that with guys like Shannon Moore. And I'm just curious, does the WWE, do they like that stuff? Do they realize that when you guys do that, that's just making you more tangible and more relatable to the audience and it helps further their brand? Or do they kind of put the kibosh on that? Because we deal with a little bit of that around the radio station. I'm just curious what it's like from your angle.
Yeah, it's different. Naturally, you can only do so much, and the majority of stuff that on the internet is older stuff that we did when we were both not affiliated with WWE at all. But that website's grown pretty big, and there's a lot of things, especially with me, to be excited about in life other than just wrestling. Don't get me wrong, wrestling has paved the way for me big time. I mean, my life for what WWE has done for me, but. Away from that, I want to be known for something else as well, when the future rolls around, because, I don't know how long I can do this, because I do have my style is not like, some of the guys that are crippled these days that came nowhere near doing the stuff that I do. So it's naturally creepy for me to think about how I'm going to be when I'm 40 or 50 years old, but if I can get away and be known for something else, you know, one of these years or sometime for something else would be extremely cool. And but above and beyond, you know, all of that, I do owe all my popularity to the WWE, but I want to, you know, use that to, you know, experience other things as well.